Hi, I'm Andy Kumalo, and you're watching Entrepreneurs Stay Alive, brought to you by I'm an Entrepreneur. As we've been speaking for the past few weeks, many businesses have been affected by the impact of COVID-19. One such entrepreneur is a man who travels around the world and gets people dancing to sounds that he produces himself. I'm talking about producer and also DJ Black Coffee. Also, of course, you might know him more personally as Nati Mapumulo, who's been involved in a lot of initiatives locally here in South Africa, his home country, of course, to try and save many, or support rather, many initiatives that are trying to save as many lives as possible, including supporting small businesses. He now joins me on the line to chat a bit more about how he's doing in this difficult time. Nati, always a pleasure, sir. You are?
Thank you, sir. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Now, Nati, you yourself, you're an international DJ, you're an investor in many businesses around the world that are all impacted by COVID-19. You could quite easily be doing this thing for yourself, raising capital for yourself, because all these businesses probably need some funding during this difficult time. But you're not doing that. You're supporting all sorts of other initiatives. Talk to me about that.
God has kind of like given us in different ways. You know, I could be doing these fundraisers for myself. You know, could be raising money to stay afloat myself. You know, because I also have another business that I have that needs money. You know, I could be directing these donations to myself. You know, but you sit and look at other people's situations, guys that are only starting out now. I mean, one of the businesses that I got involved in is Yoko in its beginning stage. You know, I became an angel investor there. So Yoko, the reason I'm mentioning them, because they service mostly small businesses, they have the data.
Yeah.
And I saw the data now of small businesses, you know. First, when it was self-isolation, how they dipped very low. And then a little bit when the lockdown was announced, they pushed a little bit. But some of the businesses have dipped down like minus 90% already. You know, meaning some of the people now won't be able to even open after the lockdown. You know, I had to get involved then in that sense, you know, within the entities that I'm fundraising for, I had to include, you know, save a business, because as someone who is going through the same thing, I kind of like understand what especially the smaller businesses are going through as well.
A lot of the focus of Save a Business is in township businesses. And as you rightfully say, you know, we're all entrepreneurs, we're all feeling the pain at different levels. Did that make an impact for you? Was that a big part of the reason why you got involved specifically with them? And what's your take from that perspective? Because that's where you and I come from.
No, very much so. Very much so. I can't wait for a time where we actually all realize that, you know, what's going to take, or rather make a big change of our economy in this country is promoting and encouraging entrepreneurship. You know, everything else has been tried and tested. You know, we have this history as a country, you know, and I see so much drive, you know, in our people in getting that diploma and finding a job, or a degree, finding a job, and then they get the degree and then there's no work, you know, and it has become a big problem in the country, you know, where now we also kind of like need to encourage entrepreneurship as much as we can to those people that have what it takes, because not everyone is going to be one, you know. So when you see guys in the township already trying, you know, to build entities that could be bigger one day, you want to encourage that, you know, and this is one of the reasons that I thought it would be actually a great thing to get involved.
You are quite invested in entrepreneurial businesses. Is that something you got into by accident, or was always by design? And by the way, I've noticed a lot of artists, a lot of musicians have gotten very involved in the startup scene and in terms of being angel investors. How's that worked out for you?
Let me just say I'm invested in the continent. Let me say my love first begins with the continent and where we're going. And, I feel like we have sold ourselves short for the longest time. We've had people defining who we are, because they own the microphone, and so they become our voice, and we've allowed them because we didn't have resources. For the longest time, we've been allowing people to fly over from anywhere in the world to record a story of Kwaito music.
Yeah.
They land and we allow them, we give them the best interviews, but they have a different eye and they don't get the core of who we are. And we know it, but we're also not doing it. So you might as well allow someone else who's showing interest, So I feel like we're at the time as a continent now where we need to start doing things ourselves.
Got you.
And in the list of the startups that I invested in, that's one thing in common.
Okay.
From the beginning of time, in all the ones that I'm involved in, there's one called Andela.
Yeah.
Which started out in Nigeria.
Yeah. That's the programmers and the coders there.
Yes, and now it's gone into so many countries, and that's what I love about you saying programmers and coders. We're developing our own as a continent. 5-10 years time, things are going to be different because now you have programmers and coders who are from the continent, who understand the continent and our problems. They're going to solve our problems. We're not going to wait for other people and just copy and paste and say, oh, there's something called Uber. Oh, then we have Uber. But we are from the former Slalisa and the taxi generation.
Yeah.
And then Uber comes and then there's conflicts now because they're taking jobs and then people's cars are destroyed. You know what I mean? So now we have programmers and coders from the continent that are going to focus on the continent and solve our own problems.
Thank you for all the work that you do, my brother. Thank you for supporting entrepreneurs.
Thank you for your contribution, man. I was really touched when I saw it, It was really cool, to see, because another thing, once people see we want donations in dollars, they freak out, like they don't even think rands. They're like, oh, dollars, we don't have that kind of money, But I've been seeing a lot of South Africans, on my second show and third show, putting money in. It didn't matter for us whether it's $5 or $10, and it goes a long way. So thank you for your contribution. I saw there's like a lot of people that I know, who put money in. Even Uladuma, who's also been hit by this thing, contributed to help, and it's great, man. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for your time, and have a good day. Locked down. Have a good day, fellow inmate.
Yes, man. Thank you, my brother.
Sharp.